Hi there. So we're live, hopefully. If you watched my video last night, then you know at the end of the video, it kind of went a bit on the freezy side. So let's hope that doesn't happen here tonight. So if you're wondering if you weren't here for the last time that I did like the Secret Room Chronicles, this has to be fixed up. Hold on a second. Bugging me a bit. Welcome to Not the Movie Library. Hey Jake, dude, how's it going? I'm still working on those westerns. I've got a lot to watch. Hey Scudder. So if you guys weren't here or you did not see the Secret Room video that I did last time around, this is the other room that I don't normally tape in. It actually takes a lot of work to set it up for here. By a lot of work, I mean taking things downstairs, like chairs and stuff like that, because they don't have like a couch or anything in this area. Now, everything that I have that is TV related or otherwise media related, or VHS, books, uh, masks, all that type of stuff. it's it's in here. So why did I come in here today? One, I wanted to change the pace and to do something a little bit different and to give us some different stuff to talk about. And I've been asked a lot about TV questions lately, so that's going to come into it. Another reason is I have more things to bring in here. So if you looked on my Instagram, my Twitter, or my Facebook, either one of those three, then you're gonna know that I picked this up today. So I went to my favorite little record store here. Hey, hey, Trevor in the basement, um, basement goth. Welcome, dude. I'm also in a basement area. Not gothic though. But I picked up this here. I'm guessing most of you guys here are going to know what this is, so I'm just going to. This is the portal gun from Rick and Morty. I'm a huge fan of that cartoon. I'm a geek of that, of that cartoon, so I thought this went twofold. I saw this and I knew I wanted to have something kind of like a Rick and Morty kind of super geeky type thing to put here into my into the rest of my into the Geek Files area, to the Secret Room area. Also, I wanted to do something different for this room. So, here on out, so if you're watching this right now and you prefer the TV-oriented videos or the ones that are done in this room and who talks, games, like 8mm film, that type of stuff, anytime you see this picture, the picture of this, with me with this, come up on Instagram or Twitter or show up on my Facebook all of a sudden, that means that we've taken the portal from the movie library to the secret room. So I thought that was kind of inventive. Hopefully you do too. And 20% off, so pretty good. Anyway, I picked up a couple things today. Before we get into it, talk, I'll just get through the pickups. I'll get the pickups out of the way, and then we'll go from there. Hey Corey, welcome back to the room, and hopefully you've watched Rick and Morty before. If not, get on that, dude. 3 seasons of awesomeness. I'm just gonna say that. It's gonna put that out right there. So I got one VHS today. I don't normally get like I don't usually find VHS around, but this one was unopened, and it's one of those clamshell cases. So I had to pick that up. That's the 20th Century Fox. You never seen Rick and Morty? Definitely check it out, dude. Have you ever watched Community Scholar? It's by the same guy. Corey obviously has seen Rick and Morty. So I picked up Olive Eve. Very different, huh? Classic, Betty Davis. So I don't need to open it yet, but really stoked. The best show in the multiverse to have this one in my collection. I love picking up like VHS, like good VHS films when I have the time. So in a second, I'm gonna put that over with my VHS pile over there. And for people that haven't been here before, you get to see that. So in my collection, I had 0 Shirley Temple films. So not a huge like when it came to Shirley Temple. Didn't know a lot of stuff. I've seen movie stuff when I was a kid, but wasn't something I followed up on. It wasn't a quest of mine, as in like I have to have every Shirley Temple film. Why did I do it like that? Anyway, So I still have. Don't drink. Uh, to watch this video, Jace, you need a couple of those drinks. A Tom Collins too. We're gonna stick with kind of like the tasty drinks. Uh, I still don't because I picked up this collection and it's called the. This was actually sealed. Got it for really really cheap. The Shirley Temple Storybook Collection. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go old school. I'm kind of collecting like older cinema and that too. So I guess I'll get the set and get my first Shirley Temple films in my collection. So I get home and I do a bit of research. And so, so you see how old Shirley Temple looks here, you know, 5, 6, you know, she was doing her films and that. We just got into the to the movie library. I showed off my Rick and Morty gun and all but VHS. I picked this up and realized, okay, she doesn't look like this in this, which is kind of good actually. She's actually in her 20s, in her early 20s when this is done. Hey, PlayStation, we are actually going to be. I got my games around here, so I'm going to actually show some of that stuff. My James Bond room. Okay, so this is actually a TV series that Shirley Temple did long after her film career. It was a storybook series where they had like a lot of famous actors in it, like Jonathan Winters and Martin Landau and people like that. The new rules. Don't get me going about the new YouTube thing. My viewer count has significantly changed in the last month, even though with the new YouTube viewer rules and stuff like that. Neither did I in Ready. I never heard of it, the show, until I picked it up because I thought it was Shirley Temple film. So what is kind of cool is it came with this here little like picture, you know, autographed picture of Shirley Temple and a certificate of authenticity. You gonna stream to laptop? How come? Maybe I haven't heard everything. And so what she did within the show, what's actually kind of neat, I'm actually kind of curious about now, is that she took like, it's called the Storybook Collection for a reason. She took like storybook fairy tales, that type of thing, and she made like short 45-minute, 50-minute films out of them. And actually did pretty well. So this one is The Land of Oz, which actually is pretty good. And you can see it actually has the Pumpkin King in there as well. They're trying to make it. They're trying to like. We shall fight back and persevere because at the end of the day, let's be honest. As good as stuff like Cobra Kai and all that stuff was, that's not what generates the traction for YouTube. It's the real people. As hard as they try, YouTube is not Amazon or Netflix. That's not a bad thing though. It has its own identity. And it should have its own identity. The Reluctant Dragon, that's kind of definitely a low budget thing. Pippi Longstocking and Kim. I've got a desktop. That's the killer with the Terrible Clockman, and I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this first, I did not see the L in that one. But just gonna put that there. And House of Seven Gables, which apparently was done for like a more mature younger audience, actually. The Princess and the Goblins, and of course, Madeline. So apparently, there was a Madeline adaptation before the cartoon. These are actually really intriguing. I was actually very intrigued when I got this. There's Winnie the Pooh. There's the Shirley Temple version of Winnie the Pooh. There's Eeyore there and Piglet, and that's Babes in Thailand. And the last one here, I'm guessing this was probably like a longer one that was done, kind of a bigger one. And that one is The Little Mermaid. So really intrigued by this. I literally thought this was a bunch of Shirley Temple like movies, but it's kind of mini movies done with a TV series. Yeah, I did not know that. There's a Shirley Temple version of Winnie the Pooh. I was kind of blown away that there's a Shirley Temple version of the Land of Oz. I'm a huge Oz fan. Like I read the books. Hey Sasha, how's it going? Hopefully you're feeling well. So as you can see, one of the big reasons for coming in here, I'm a huge Winnie the Pooh fan, is that everything that I got today actually relates to television. Now, last year, I was at a Salvation Army shop and I found Perry Mason Season 1, Volume 1. Perry Mason can get a bit pricey and it's hard to find right here. So I didn't find any more Perry Mason after that until today, actually. And I hadn't put it in, like, I hadn't scanned it into my movie thing where I scan in all my movies. I'm actually pretty slack on that. So I wasn't quite sure. I didn't know for sure if it was Season 1, Volume 1 that I had or Season 1, Volume 2. But I knew it was one of the early seasons, right? So today I managed to pick up Season 1, Volume 2. And this was back in the day when, like, TV seasons were super long. So the first season of Perry Mason had 39 episodes in it. So I guess that kind of explains why it was broken up into two sets. So this one actually is the last 15 episodes of the or last 20 episodes, sorry, of the series. The first one had the first 19, and I also got, while I was there, right next to it, Season 2, Volume 2. See, I gotta mention reviews because I hear somebody talking about reviews and creativity. I love making reviews, but it's the least watched thing on my channel. So when I make a review video, it's legitimately about a film that I feel super passionate about because I know that it's not going to get seen by like a lot of people, but I want it to be like if somebody sees it, I want it to be one of the better things that I do. And hopefully that comes across. Because the last review I did was for Valentine, which is a movie I really like, and I loved that Scream Factory disc. You're a Perry Mason fan? So I grew up, obviously now with this, I was not even thought about when Perry Mason came on the air. But I did grow up with the TV movies that came on back in the day with the Raymond Burr did, like later on when he had the beard, and I really, really enjoyed those. Thanks, Corey. I actually really appreciate that because I'll be honest with you, when it comes to the my better half my better half is like is super critical. She's not the type of person that's going to tell me. She will never say, "Oh, this is really great." Hey, people, guys, if it's not, like she's brutally honest. So basically, if I show her something, like if I do a video here and I show it to her, she'll tell me, "Okay, you can fix this and this and this type of thing." When I did the last review on Valentine, she actually really, really enjoyed it. So that was a big thing because she's my hardest critic. Aside from me, I think I'm my hardest critic. She's my second hardest critic. But welcome, and we are in the other room here. It's a fantastic slasher film. It's a fantastic release. If you haven't seen Valentine yet, guys, I do recommend checking it out and making sure that you get that release. And before I go on anything else, this is kind of weird news that I wanted to just mention. I'm not sure how many of you, I know PlayStation, you're a gamer, but I'm not sure if you have the Switch and stuff too. Now, Nintendo has this thing, which is normally I think for younger kids, called Labo, right? So pretty much it's like, you've heard of it. It's like cardboard things and you kind of put them together and you make like different stuff. Right on. So Labo is going to VR. So they're going to do like a version of VR. And you make your headset and you kind of put the Switch like thing, like the right in the screen, right in there. And it does like a kind of a virtual reality type of thing. So now today they announced a little bit more, and you probably heard of this. because people thought, okay, a lot of the Labo stuff, it's kind of like, arts and craftsy with video and stuff. It's more geared usually towards like younger kids or people that are really in the arts and crafts style stuff. So today they announced that Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey will have Labo VR experiences, uh, free with a free update, for both of them. Now, I think for Super Mario Odyssey, it's kind of like a different like thing, game type aspect that you can do in there. But in Super Mario in Breath of the Wild, I think it works much in the way that, oh God, there's a game, a really good VR game actually, where you kind of follow this little guy around, and I can't for the life of me remember now, Astrobot, something like that. So it's going to be much like that. So you're actually going to be able to look around in this like huge, massive area, which is really, really cool. So, Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Now, one of the things about it though is I don't see a strap or anything like kind of that ties it in. So in the video they showed this guy like kind of holding it, which is okay for like a small experience, but I can't imagine like if you're playing Breath of the Wild, for instance, right? And you're holding this to your face for like, because I'm not sure about you, but when I play Breath of the Wild, it's not a 10-minute experience. It's not like a half hour. You're playing Breath of the Wild, you're in there for a couple hours, usually at least, right? Usually at a minimum. Can you imagine like this? So I'm hoping there's some kind of strap or something like that we just haven't seen yet, and that'll be a neat way to go with that. Me either. Actually, I got my cousin, fantastic guy. Uh, when he's playing like video games, he's playing like what was it? One of my Super NES games, and he gets like super like cursing. Like he's not a cursor, like hardly ever. But he's like gets frustrated, like me actually. I just gotta put him down after because I know just once, I've never thrown the controller, but once I was like so frustrated, I almost went to like Aaron's gonna have to throw a controller territory. Because I'm a gamer, but I'm not good. I'm not like I'm okay. I'm not good. So you're never gonna see me like streaming and doing like really, really good stuff. It's gonna be more along the lines of if I ever go on Twitch, for instance, it's gonna be probably somewhere around the lines of like Aaron sucks at video games. A limited time? A limited time is in like for physical release, or a limited time. Oh, that'd be nice. Or a limited time for like an actual like digital release. The more things go digital, I've noticed, physical release, the more limited things are getting, and not just like on physical releases either. On a lot of like other on some other basically digital releases. Say for instance, you go and you buy like a certain indie game from a certain company, or you buy like a game. There can be those games can get canceled. They can get stopped. Like they put the server down. I know that my oldest will definitely have it because he's really into. Well, if you're bored, you don't have to be here. Nobody's forcing you. Um, it's a secret agent. Yeah, the cone of silence comes down. That was a mean thing to say. Somebody said before. I'm just being honest. But sorry guys, I'm not as hyped as I was yesterday. It was late at night, and I made a video. You guys saw it or not? I was like super all over the place. I'm trying to catch up with your guys' conversation too. I read like Smoking the Bandit and heard some stuff from Sasha, and then I saw some. It's so hard to keep up with you guys. And then you guys go like radio silent on me. Ooh. No, I didn't. I did not. Actually, I'm a huge Half-Life fan from back in the day, but it's been so long since we've done anything with Half-Life. So yeah, I will definitely be getting that. I Yeah, we are going kind of like cool classic time there. Now, Half-Life when I played it was PlayStation 2, Skyrim. Oh yeah, I'm a I'm a geeky guy when it comes to gaming and stuff like that. Now I don't have all of my games down here, but let me show you what I got. Um, you do need more Burt Reynolds in your life, Jace. Much more Burt Reynolds. You need White Heat for one, and you also need Gator. Thanks, Corey. Getting the cash. It was on PS2. I had the PS2 version. Want to see my game stuff? Hey Ryan, welcome. And this is my second one from the Secret Room. Before, the Secret Room was only ever seen in like short, like Instagram videos and that type of thing. I'm like holding this like some microphone. Yellow ribbon. Okay. Not gonna say. Hold on. I'm gonna put it right there. So, hopefully you guys can still hear me. Now there's some stuff like my God of War and my more recent stuff that's upstairs. And this is more my my older stuff. And after I'll show you this, I'll actually show you my my NES and Super NES stuff as well. Because yes, I have those too. It is a thing. Like it's one of those things where you're like, I'm kind of into it, not into it anymore. But I get into like big periods where I really, really get into gaming. So first off, is a game for a system I no longer have, but I definitely have to get down the road. So this is SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 for the PSP. Now the PSP is a very underrated handheld system and something that unfortunately didn't get as much play as it should have gotten. It's still a great system and you can actually pick them up for fairly cheap now. And if you're a game collector, I kind of recommend it. This one here was kind of cool because I remember Max Payne. So what's really neat about this one is that I was never a PC gamer scholar, although I do play some, like on Steam, but not really, not a lot. This one here has a manager game. So I love manager games. Basically, what it is, it's got like you're either a general manager for SmackDown or for Raw. Zombies Ate My Neighbors was an awesome game, and you choose your roster and you program you book your matches and you book your shows and your pay-per-views and basically you see like who gets more who gets more money or who gets more viewers and raters. That I know it sounds really boring, but I actually really like that stuff. So anyway, the PSP, the baseball managing game, yeah, exactly like that, Ryan. It's exactly that type of thing. So now showing you, I'm going to show you the game that made me buy an Xbox One. I have all the systems because I'm a sucker. PSP was awesome. I gotta get a new PSP. I gotta get a Vita too. I try to have all the systems, but this here, Rare Replay, was the reason that I bought an Xbox One. I love Rare, the company, before they got ruined. I find it was awesome. Game Gear. I had a Game Gear for my oldest actually when she was young, and she loved it. Um, but this has like games that I really need to play. If you have an Xbox One, like for instance, and you don't have this, you got to get this. This is really really cool. This has some of my favorite games on here, and games like Jace, Perfect Dark. Well, We know GoldenEye that was made by these guys. Unfortunately, that's not on here because rights issues. But what is on here is some like really cool stuff. There is all the Battletoad games. Most of Battle. I love Battletoads. I grew up like I'm older. Battletoads. That was my jam. I grew up like playing Battletoads. Punishingly hard game, by the way, but ton of fun to play. So we got games on here like Battletoads, Night Lore, which is a really old one, Perfect Dark and Perfect Dark Zero, the sequel, RC Pro Am, which is really kind of an old cool one, Underworld, Viva Pinata. I actually do like the Viva Pinata games. I actually saw it at a store today, at the record shop that it was. He had, I think it was a Battletoad, the soundtrack on vinyl. It was expensive as hell. It was like $50. Bullet, yeah. Oh man, unfortunately, I'll be honest. I think you're gonna have to keep waiting for Secret for that one because I can't see it coming anytime soon. Yeah, it'll be nice to see them like do an updated GoldenEye game. GTA 4. It's nothing wrong with GTA 4 on 360. Man, 360 is a great system and great controller, by the way. It wasn't. It was like $50, man. And I looked at some NECA figures too. There was like a NECA for like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there's a NECA there for like Friday, like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Red Dead Redemption is a fantastic game. I knew somehow, Jace, I kind of had this feeling you would like Red Dead Redemption. Cure Wars bad dudes. This is, of course, Minecraft, because who doesn't have Minecraft? Let's not, let's be honest. Now, here's a few of my older PS4 games, because I got some upstairs. God of War is upstairs, for instance. All my PS4 VR games are upstairs. I do like the wrestling games, and I'm a big fan of Stone Cold. I actually was really watching some like wrestling last night from 1999, and not one of the best games. Like the newer one came out really good. Though it has a really good story mode, and of course. That's right, though. I forgot to turn yours on. Really big fan of this one. I'm an Uncharted series, but like Uncharted is what brought me to the PS3. So, and I kind of dig this. This is one of my favorite. Vice City is my favorite Grand Theft Auto game. Like, to be honest with you guys, but I do think this one's like really good. There's just like kind of like a mini game type of thing in this one here, where it's kind of like Splatoon, where you're in a car and you're on top of a building and you're like kind of racing around, and you got like a certain color on your car, and all the other cars got like different colors on their cars as well, and you're trying to get like basically you want to get the maximum amount of your color on there. So anyway, really cool. Dennis the Bond, and just to see how super geeky I am. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I am a big Dragon Ball fan. My love for Dragon Ball is over 9,000. Can't get much geekier than that. Anyway, so next up, okay, or something you're not going to be excited about, so I'm not going to spend much time on that. And that is Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus, which I grabbed back in the day because I grabbed the so I got the Wii Fit balance board. And when I say I got all the systems, I do mean I got the Wii U as well. And I was a big fan of the Wii U. So Just Dance 2014, which I bought for $1 somewhere. And now for the really good Wii U games. Super Mario 3D World, which is such an underrated Mario game. Really good game. Really great levels on it, by the way. And the best Lego game, in my opinion, that they ever put out, aside from maybe Lego Star Wars, is this one right here, Lego City Undercover. Fun game. This works best. Like, this has been put out for other systems, but in all honesty, like the truth of the matter is, this works best on the Wii U, and that's because it utilizes the Wii U's like screen. It makes a difference. It really does. But my all-time favorite game for the Wii U. Are you ready for this? My favorite game on the Wii U. Do you know what it's going to be? This game was It was ported. Actually, I didn't see that. Actually, I've seen a few Boogie videos, but I haven't seen that one. Take your time, Sasha. I can't wait for you to come back though. My favorite Wii U game of all time, and the reason I still own a Wii U right now, is because of this. I love Zombie U. I've owned this several times actually. Every time that I bought a Wii U and got frustrated and ended up like selling the Wii U, that happened a couple times. I always had Zombie U and I'd always get rid of it. Now this time, so it don't matter what, I'm keeping this one either way. Zombie U is a really good game. Now you've probably seen the ports that have gone on the PS4 and I think maybe the Xbox as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't play as well on those systems, and here's why. On the Wii U, you got a big, the controller which has the screen on there. Now, to get the full experience of Zombie U, you need that screen because you're literally like walking around and like you're scanning and you're moving around the room using a flashlight with this pad, which hopefully they'll put on the Switch because it'll be awesome for that. And you move it around, and so when, like for instance, you could move around a dark corner and all of a sudden like a zombie comes out at you. It's a really cool experience, and it hasn't been able to be really replicated on the other systems because it's just the standard game. It just seems like a pared down game for any of the other systems, right? But Zombie U was really, really good. It's a fantastic game. It's a reason. Like if you ever get to see a Wii U for like fairly cheap, and I'm guessing eventually, Nintendo stuff doesn't go cheap really fast, right? But when it does, I do recommend grabbing yourself the Wii U, picking up Zombie U. You'll thank me for it. This is actually really, really good. And still, even though I love my Switch, I can watch Netflix and stuff on my Wii U. I still cannot do that on my Switch, which I wish I could actually. And since Hulu is not here in Canada yet, but it will be, I was on. Yeah, what was it? I was on. I was on Twitter, and I was talking to. I made this comment. Like I said, well, hopefully Hulu will be coming to Canada soon, right? Because it was announced it's coming to Canada, and this person said, well, no, it's not coming to Canada. There's too much rights issues, and so then somebody came back and he said, look, here it is. Here's the announcement that it's coming to Canada. And so the guy comes back, and his comment is, this is not even paraphrasing. You have been deceived. No, really, it's like you have been deceived. It is not coming. And like, you kind of lost, dude. Give it up. Just at that point, no, just let it go. It was hilarious though, especially that you have been deceived. Okay, so here's some of my PS2 games. And then I'll get the early old school Nintendo stuff to show you guys. So these here, first three, are going to seem like no surprise to anybody. So anybody that played PlayStation 2 back in the day probably played these games here. Of course, there's Guitar Hero. And yeah, I do have some guitars over there. I have two of them actually, so me and my better half can play together. Here is Guitar Hero 2. Of course, the classic Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock with Slash on it. I'm a GNR fan, actually, I guess. When I went to the record store, I was actually looking to see if I could find like a record of like a Sham 69 or something like that. But or even like the Sex Pistols, just but nothing there. Yeah, Sid Vicious is my way, but I kind of was in the mood for that one. Alright. So is that little game systems? Dude, get on that. Like in all seriousness. it's hard to find like game systems around here lately. And if they do, they tend to be super expensive. Are they cheaper there? PSP, if you get like a Wii U, some of that like at a good price. Now, you probably wouldn't expect this from me, but I do play a few of the sports games as well. And one of the reasons is I do like the manager modes. I do like sports games overall, and I like the I love the music in a lot of the games. See, if I was in the game, I am in the games. If I was there, I would so be like, I would be there, like grabbing stuff. So it's MLB 06, the show. NBA Live 08. This is actually one I was looking for a while, and because I'm Canadian, gotta have some hockey in my collection, right? And because more recently, when I shut off the DOA MVD rewind and stuff, I kind of like gave away my roots in the fact that I'm a huge like fan of like the kind of punk ska music and style like that. I got Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, great soundtrack on this one, by the way. That's when Tony Hawk games are still pretty good. And of course, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I haven't been able to find Pro Skater 1, 2, and 3. I know 1 and 2 are right around the PlayStation 1. I'm not sure if 3 is on PS2 or not. Big warehouse. Man, that would be my dream place, movie archives. That would be like a dream place for me to go. Oh. Blink-182, is it on there? I think one of the reasons you don't see like a lot of these redone is because of the music. It is definitely an expensive habit, man. Let's have some decent music on here. We got like, let's see. I want to check actually. I'm looking for Blink-182. It's probably on here. Body Rock with Bismarck is on here. And of course, Anarchy in the UK is on here as well. So I'm a big Sex Pistols geek. Alright, so not only do I have this on the PSP, but yes, I also have it on the PlayStation 2 as well, because I can't play General Manager mode on the PSP, but I can play it on one of my 2 PlayStation 2s that I own. Hey, thanks. Thanks a lot. It's pretty chill tonight, so if it seems kind of like a little bit laid back, it actually is. It's kind of what I'm doing tonight. So feel free to ask any questions or anything like that. So 2006, 2007. Good old Tori Wilson. She's going into the Hall of Fame now. And 2008. Those were the 3 years that had General Manager mode on them. So I grabbed those. I hope so. And because I was a huge fan of the company at the time, and I do think that this wrestling game, actually it is plugged in. Not sure though. Yep. I do apologize if it does seem kind of low. I can put the what do you call it on little thing, that thing. Technical. I'm so technical tonight. Hopefully you can hear me though, because normally people hear me better in here because it has better acoustics. I wish I had some arrow to show you, man. Now, this here is the TNA Impact game that actually came out back in the day. It's the only game that they ever put out. Really great game when it comes to like the style of wrestling that's done. Unfortunately, lower than usual. Does anybody else find it lower than usual? Just to find out. You can hear me just. It's strange. So if other people find it kind of low, I can try my other mic. It came with a couple mics. So, do you want me to try the other mic, guys? because I can't do that. Because I don't want to seem like too low. So if you can't hear me, if it gets to the point where you can't hear me, just let me know, and I'll go to try the other micro. I'll just try to put the thing on this one, the little like furry thing. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of that. All right. So what I am going to do though is kick it old school with games. So let's look at some of the older games that I got. So let's look at Nintendo, Super Nintendo, some other stuff. Yeah, maybe the lack of sipping thing is a good thing. We're gonna go really retro. Star Fox, I love Star Fox. I'm fortunate I don't own it. See, the cool thing about this room is, and I will actually walk around this room afterwards, which I like to tend to do, is that all right. So, one of these days I'm going to get a PS3 again, because I love the old school PS3, and there's a lot of games I used to play on it. Ones I used to play a lot were SingStar games. Yeah, I played SingStar, and I cannot sing, but I still have to sing anyway. So, SingStar ABBA, which I really like actually. Songs that I do well in on here, because is obviously everybody does Mamma Mia, but Ring Ring. And that was what made you pass out. I can get Ring Ring pretty well. So Nintendo 64. I've actually only got one game for my Nintendo 64. Just one, right? So far. And that is not a good game. Are you ready to see what this is? It's a wrestling game. And that is WCW Mayhem. I don't know why I said it like that. I always go like that. I always go deeper when I'm talking about these. But this is a game. It is one of the latter. Actually, I really liked Heavy Rain back in the day. I love those like story-based games. That's why Uncharted was like really big for me. Goldberg actually, back in the day was like kind of a big deal. So let's go through the NES games first. So we'll start off with my favorite NES. One of my favorite ones I got in my collection. Your favorite wrestler, really? So you're like a WCW guy then. Is Friday the 13th. I really do love this game. I have the NECA figure for Friday the 13th as well. And I also have the mask, the kind of blue mask. Both of those were bought for me by my oldest, actually. And until Electronic Arts became like the evil corporation of gaming, eh? You ever play the ECW games? They were really, really bad. I was so disappointed. I remember buying one. Like, this was at full price back in the day. I went to the store, I picked up like it was EV Games. Anyway, so went to EV Games, picked up like I love Angry Video Game Nerd. James Roth is awesome, and he knows a lot about films as well. He's watched a lot of like, especially horror. We have like a similar interest in the older horror stuff. But I got it back, and I'm like, I take it Mike Awesome to play first, because rest in peace. But I was like a really big like fan of Mike Awesome back in the day. So it was gonna be Mike Awesome. I think it was gonna be fighting Taz, and literally I could have taken out one of those old school 1980s wrestling figures. And if you remember the type that I'm talking about, basically there was no like bendable, like there was no like articulate, like they wouldn't move. There was no like joints or anything like that. They were just like they were kind of like in whatever pose that they came in. So if you got like Brutus the Barber Beefcake or Macho Man or Randy Savage, whatever, Macho Man, Randy Savage, it'll be posed something like this, or it could be like this, and you just like have to like to hold them and like just like, okay, they're fighting, you know. So the ECW game, pretty much like that. I used to have like a bunch of them. So next up is the classic, of course, one of the first that everybody has is Mario Brothers, original Mario Brothers game with Duck Hunt. I've got a light gun and I'm actually pretty good at Duck Hunt, so pretty cool. Love this game. Sad what's happening to with the host of this game show right now. That's Alex Trebek, and that is Jeopardy. And I really love the Jeopardy games. Super fan of Jeopardy. As your grandma's, a lot of like older people like the Mario, like the Duck Hunt games and Mario games. You'll see them play like my aunts and uncles used to play like Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers all the time because it'll be on that one disc like you just saw right there. And I think my aunt was really into like Super Mario Brothers 3, which I was actually into as well. Actually, this one doesn't get talked about enough. It actually is a pretty cool game. I like the way it goes, and that is Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle. So kind of a fun game. If you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out. The next one I thought was cool. This is an Acclaim game, by the way, an early Acclaim game, and it's Iron Sword Wizards and Warriors 2. And I'm just gonna let you look at that for a second. See how old you are, or look at the guy on the front of that. How many in this room recognizes who that is? Do you recognize him, Jace? Do you know what that is? This would be Fabio. So maybe I'm the only person old enough to remember who Fabio is, but that is Fabio. So you can see like an early thing from Fabio. It is Fabio. So one of my favorite games is Exvius. It's a great shooter game. If you've never played it, definitely recommend it. You know, it's one of the old school ones. Definitely really old school when it comes to gaming. Great game. Also, Rad Racer. Just a fun early game. And early anime game. Solid game. So there's an anime kind of a manga like Go-Go 13, and they made a film out of this, and that is Top Secret episode Go-Go 13. Yeah, pretty sure Fabio's still alive. Yeah. And a game that one of the regular Nintendo games that can't be beat, and if you got a Switch, I recommend it. Is Master Blaster. So Master Blaster Zero, of course, is on the Switch, and Master Blaster Zero 2 actually recently got announced on the Switch. I think it just came out. So this is the original Sunsoft edition of Master Blaster. Love this game. I can play this all day. It's just one of those I can really get into. And last but not least, for this for the Nintendo ones of these, he was like a model, and he did like some like acting as well. He was part of a TV show like Acapulco Gold or something like that. Something Acapulco Heat. Because Acapulco Gold is a Cheech and Chong scale. Remember Mission Impossible? So remember the 80s Mission Impossible series came out in 88, 89? Well, they made a game of that. As you can see right there. What I really like about this, and I could never get this thing out, really peeves me, is you can see the 89 cast, for 88, 89 cast for Mission Impossible right there. There's like Peter Graves, of course, is Jim. The one you can't see is the one that I like the most, which was Tail Pendleton's character. He plays this guy that can actually, do the, pretty much the Martin character stuff. He puts on different masks and all that type of stuff. So, SNES. Want to go for those? So, pick this one up, not knowing what it was, called Metal Combat. I think that sounds like an awesome name. I've never played this game before. What I wasn't aware of is that in order to play this game, you need this big, like, Super Scope, it's called. It's kind of a light gun for like an SNES. This is a light gun game. I've never played this because I don't have the Super Scope. Still looking for that. Next up is Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday. I actually really kind of dig this one. Street Fighter 2, because I'm a huge Street Fighter fan. I've got the Street Fighter 2 Turbo on my Switch. It was one of the first games I bought on my Switch, actually. And yes, I'm a huge fan of these style. I got Jeopardy, Super Jeopardy Deluxe Edition. Super Scope, was it really? And you can't have a Super NES and not have Super Mario World. It's a given. You gotta have Super Mario World. This is for me, it's one of the greatest Mario games ever made. It is a classic, and it's one that people should go back to. People always talk about like Super Mario 64, being kind of a benchmark. But Super Mario World, fantastic game. And last and probably kind of least, because this is not the best game, and it is Speedy Gonzales in Los Gatos Banditos. So yeah, even good old Speedy got a game. So that is my modest, extremely modest, early gaming collection. So I've been buying games pretty much. Like I got a couple like GameCube games that are in the other room. I don't feel like going out there to get those. But some basic stuff. We got like some Naruto, and I got SpongeBob games, stuff like that on the GameCube. A little hint for retro game collectors or people that are thinking about collecting for a retro console or system. I'm going to be honest with you right now. PlayStation 2 is a great, great system. All of its games don't translate well to modern day, well, especially when it comes to the all of the shoot 'em up styles. When it comes to like the graphics, the system that I find that most holds its own today. One of these days I'll get to Sasha. One of these days, you will too. You can too, if you're like. Is the GameCube. So if you're thinking of like a system to actually to play and to see it like actually look really good still today, the style of like that GameCube used, really really good to collect for, and a lot of their games look really really nice compared to other ports and other versions of the games that are out there. Back in the day, you wouldn't think so. Enjoy your Smoking the Bandit, dude. I got the set for Christmas. I haven't bothered to get down and watch them yet. Got all quiet. I was like, but yeah, no. The GameCube is probably one of the better systems to collect for, because the games look great, and you got this like little tiny disc, really cool, and I love the cases for the GameCube. Extremely well done. As you can see, I don't have a lot of cases when it comes to the retro games. I usually pick them up where I can find them at. It is amazing when you think about it. Now, I'm older, Sasha, so obviously I remember the early stuff. I'm of the Atari age. I actually, a guy came into the shop today, and he brought in an Atari with a bunch of games, and I'm like, damn. So I talked to the owner. I'm like, see, you got an Atari there, and he's like, yep, we just got in today. I said, yeah, I saw you just came in with an Atari, and so you gonna have that out soon? He's like, well, I got to test it and all that and cleaned up. I'm like, oh. I said, but don't worry, come back next week, and we'll see how much I'm going to price the Atari for him. And I'm like, definitely got to go back, because I don't have an Atari in my collection, and the Atari was the first system I ever owned. Like, I would play the hell out of Frogger and Q*bert and Miss Pac-Man, because Pac-Man, the original Pac-Man port, and the Atari sucked. It really sucked bad. Miss Pac-Man, however, that was the bomb. That was a great port of it. So, for people that are in here, and I'm not sure, that haven't seen, has anybody not been in this room before. Because what I like to do when I come in here is I like to do the little tour thing of this room, especially if you haven't seen it. And it lets you ask me uh, questions about some of the stuff in here. Aside from like my movies and all that stuff in here, because what we're gonna do is we are going to turn this around. That's my basketball. So when I write, before I go writing, normally what I normally do is I basically bounce the basketball. But let's go right up to the top. So just to let you guys see, this is the area that basically, my tee is right there, which actually looks super white compared to actually what it really is. My phone, my iPhone 8, and my games right there. But you know, the chair that I'm using tonight, which is not as comfortable as sitting on a couch. Thank you very much. You guys talking about the World Cup? Now, Shazam is starting this weekend. Oh, I love Oz, actually. Oz is one of my favorite programs. And definitely one of the best HBO shows. Unfortunately, I don't have it. But I definitely have to get it. I've seen Oz a few times, and I love the series. So there, for everybody that's like, I'm watching Shazam this week, there's the evolution of Chuck right there. Zachary Levi. WrestleMania weekend. I'm going to be watching WrestleMania this weekend. I got a bunch of snacks. Don't judge me for my Vampire Diaries. Behind there is where ones I just put the recent says my Buffy's, my Angels. Do not buy the Buffy like HD remaster that's recently been done. It is really, 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 really bad. It is probably the worst remaster of anything done ever. Now you can see a bit of my Canadiana coming out there with my season 3 of Corner Gas, which I actually really like that show. Extras, one of my favorites actually. If you've never seen Extras, I do recommend that. Oh yeah, I gotta have some Pearl Man. Got to stretch my little gray cells. Of course, I had the complete Dukes of Hazzard. I used to love that show. And I like showing it like this because this, you can see kind of like Coy and Vance on there, on the, and on the front of it, they don't actually show them. But like, cause season 5, like the main actors, they asked for a lot more money. And so rather than like give them money, they actually hired new people to play the Duke boys' cousins. Yeah, no, if I'm going to get, I'm definitely going to get the. No, these Hitchcock sets. That's the Hitchcock Presents, the TV series. That's the first 2 seasons, season 1 and season 2. Joseph Cotton's episode where he's kind of a businessman who gets in a car accident was one of my favorites. Yep, that is The Persuaders. That is my better half's favorite show. I have this in 2 forms. This is the original A&E discs. I also have the updated disc that came out from VI as well. Oh, you never seen The Persuaders, Jace? Man, check it out. It's actually a really good show. It's a perfect like name for 2 The Persuaders because there's like, hey, Tommy Films, there's never 2 more charming guys out there than Tony Curtis and Roger Moore. And here we got some like classics like Hill Street Blues and Elf, obviously going in the same category. True Blood. The Persuaders was made in the 70s. It's a series by, God, what's his name? He did a bunch of other shows. If I can find it over there, I will actually, because I got another edition of it. I got the first couple of series of Skins. You know, I got some Bored to Death, Picket Fences, Nip Tuck, which I really loved. Do I have the Saint? I'm a huge Saint fan. That's the original monochrome series and the complete color series as well. Over here I have the complete Secret Agent Man, you know, also otherwise known as Danger Man. I was a big fan of that show. And there's my Avengers set. And as you can see, I'm a bit of a Trekkie. There, of course, is the original Prisoner, and there was the remake series. This got him Bond, guys. Up here, some of my cool geekier shows. Robotech. The Steve McQueen set is Wanted Dead or Alive, Jace, which is a Western show, so I'm guessing you liked it. I actually really love Wanted Dead or Alive. And I like the modern day, well, 80s modern day remake with Rutger Hauer as well. Do I have Man from U.N.C.L.E.? Yes I do. We will get there. I actually like that one. This, of course, there's Twin Peaks, Murder She Wrote. I'm a huge Murder She Wrote fan. This, of course, is, oh yeah, dude, you know I gotta have Beast Wars. Is Twilight Zone, Matlock, and Cracker, because I'm a huge Cracker fan. Beast Wars and Transformers, of course. First, the original Power Rangers there as well. Coming down here, I actually bought the Beauty and the Beast set. The Rich Man Poor Man was the very first. Oh wow! I would love to meet Roger Moore. Rich Man Poor Man was the very first miniseries that was ever done. Yes, I have the original Swamp Thing. And Wayne and Schuster, if you're a Canadian comedy fan, you're going to know that. Soap. Really fun show. V. And of course there is Mystery Science Theater. There's another Mystery Science Theater behind it. And right in front of it there is one of my favorite shows, Carnival, which everybody should see. And if you wondered, hey, is Aaron a Superman fan? Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Tie Collector. You were here the last time I was in this room. Aaron is a Superman fan. He's just a out and out superhero geek. I love Smallville. I had a huge crush on Chloe. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say just because like stuff happened later on. No, I did. I had a huge crush on Chloe. She was on the Google Doc list. She would have easily gotten me into her cult. Right now. Jonathan Creek, which is actually a really fun show. Veronica Mars, I really like Veronica Mars. That's the Knight Rider remake series that came out. Well, reboot series or whatever, continuation. That's, you know, Scrubs, Sabrina, the original Sabrina, Captain Power, and the Soldiers of the Future. That's a really good one, actually. Super Sentai. This is the, which one's that one? Ninja Sentai Kura Ranger. I got like one season, one of Grace, as you can see there, but I gotta get the rest. I'm a completist. You guys know I'm a completist. Tales from the Dark Side. As you can see, there's Night Gallery, Square Pegs, which is a very 80s show, like totally do. Three Musketeers, Portlandia. Somebody mentioned a charity thing. Were you talking about beat 'em ups? CSI New York. Oh, I just realized I got one of them out of order. Are You Being Served? I got that's the Are You Being Served the movie over there, but I have an Are You Being Served Again, which is the one in Australia, but I do have the original Are You Being Served as well. 87th Precinct, Murder 1, Primetime Crime Time. Everybody should know this one. It's actually really cool. Stacy Keach is Mike Hammer. That's his. Heart to Heart. I gotta get the complete series of that one too. And Kojak is one I need to own. So down here you can see I got Peep Show, In-Betweeners, Downton Abbey, the complete I Dream of Jeannie, seasons 1, 2, and 4 of Tales from the Crypt. Stephanie would be very ashamed of me for not owning more of those. And The Munsters as well. And as you can see, there's like a bunch of 8mm and Super 8mm films in here as well. So let's get over to the other side and see some of those ones that you guys asked about. Missed it by that much. I do actually, I have two projectors. No, sorry, three projectors now. I've got two 8mm projectors and one Super 8mm projector. I also have a 8mm camera as well. I don't have the SWAT reboot. I got the original SWAT series though. Nice. And over there, that's the Larry Sanders Show, which I got for an insanely cheap price. They did a lot of tests like that actually. Magnum PI, Starsky and Hutch, A-Team, 20 Jump Street, and of course the spin-off series Booker. One of my favorite shows, Miami Vice. Starman, that's the 2002 reboot of Twilight Zone, which people give way too much hate on. Now, Jace, you're gonna like this one. So, Rawhide, Gunsmoke, Bonanza, The Gene Autry Show, The Young Riders. Is your father's favorite? Magnificent Seven, the series, the complete series actually. The Deputy, Rat Patrol, Shadow Wars, which stars, oh God, what's his name again? Can't believe I forgot this. Sonny Chiba. This was a series that Sonny Chiba did. Of course, Slaughters, which we talked about last time we were in here. Cobra with Monka Dudikoff. Crime Story. Way underrated. See my youth there. Electric Company, Volume 2. Sesame Street, 40 Years of Sunny Days. Johnny Loves Chachi. I actually ripped up a pair of my jeans running home. Riding home on bike to see Johnny Loves Chachi. I blew it on my bike. And man, was that ever the worst decision I made, running home to see Johnny Loves Chachi. I gotta get a Street Fighter collection. It's really cool. This is my Canadian side right here. Everything from Due South to Poltergeist to SCTV, the complete Degrassi series, the original Degrassi series. Of course, the man himself, Mr. Dressup. Only after the first season of Poltergeist Legacy, I do need to get the rest. I got most of Orphan Black. I need one more season. No. Now, Jace, do you like the original Degrassi or you like your fan of the newer one? Like, I've seen them. I like them both. But I grew up with the... I was a teen when the original Degrassi came on. You obviously were not. Hercules, Xena. These are the Anchor Bay ones. Man, anytime you can pick up an Anchor Bay TV series set, grab it. Because they do such good jobs with their TV shows. That's a complete McMillan and wife. Because she wanted more money. But I should bomb and say, I actually really like that. There's the complete Young Indiana Jones. Somebody mentioned, Are You Being Served? Well, there's a complete... Gonna move this over here. Are You Being Served? There's Hawaii Five-0 right there. There's some of the Muppet Show, Traders, which is another Canadian program. That was a hard find, actually. I actually ended up finding it at a dollar store. So there's like some Once Upon a Time. There's One Step Beyond. I got Metapocalypse, but I was never really into that series, I'm not gonna lie to you. Jewel in the Crown, a classic there. Sons of Anarchy. I think I'm missing the last season. Freaks and Geeks. Love Freaks and Geeks. Now here's a couple shows that ended too soon. Freaks and Geeks is one, and True Calling's another. Actually, I really love True Calling. New Showtime. Mrs. Brown's Boys. That's one of my Better Half's favorite shows. And of course, Keeping Up Appearances is another one she really loves. And I think Golden Girl's got to be one of her all-time classics there too, for her.
True Calling is such an underrated program.
Alright. Red Dwarf, Kung Fu, the original series. Unfortunately, the Legend Continues is yet to come out on DVD. That's my Mystery Machine. Rest in peace, Luke Perry. I have the first 6 seasons of Beverly Hills 90210, and I make no bones about it. I used to watch that show when I was younger. Melrose Place, Charmed, Mad About You, House, One Tree Hill. I actually did like One Tree Hill. Probably because I'm also love basketball. Walking Tall, the series, The Greatest American Hero, it's season 1. Heroes. Started good. Saved the cheerleader. Unfortunately, didn't stay good. Quantum Leap. I gotta get the rest of that show. Fear the Walking Dead, I actually like the first couple seasons of. I haven't seen the rest. There's Are You Being Served? That one wasn't complete. I got it. It said the complete. One of them's not complete. One is the complete collection. One of them actually isn't the complete collection. It's actually like half the complete collection. There's some canon there. Outer Limits, Ripper Street, Bourgeois goes. Kids in the Hall. That's season 2, I think. As you can see, I'm a big American Horror Story fan. I've got, like, upstairs, got the other one. Oh, you have a great evening there, Rich. Grimm, and of course, the Babylon 5. Charlie's Angels. And yes, I did like the Corey Secrets, because I did watch Coronation Street. Dallas, Preacher, of course, Dynasty, the Penn and Teller Show. As you can see, there's season 1, volume 1 of like Perry Mason. Remington Steele, which was a favorite of mine. And down here, kind of messier, it's like my Mission Impossible, so my Star Trek, my complete Columbo set. The L Word, which I actually really did like that show. Not just for that reason. And down here, which I got. Oh man. Is Three's Company, Bewitched, Hogan's Heroes, and of course, The X-Files. You weren't allowed to see Blackadder? I also would kill to see like Knots Landing get a complete one. Same with Falcon Crest, actually. And for you guys that have not seen over here, some of my Funkos, you see a lot of VHS here. See that down there in the corner? That's my doubles. A lot of VHS, some laser discs. This is where my mask and stuff. So anytime you see me put on a mask or any of that type of stuff, I come into this room. This is how I do that stuff and get that set up. And of course, for Red Green fans, there's Possum Polly, which is kind of a monopoly for Red Green. Bunch of comics and stuff like that. So there we go. I think I've shown you guys everything in this room. There's one thing that I was going to show you the other day, the last time I was here, and I did promise to show it. So I will actually do that now. So last time I was here, I was asked, was this a complete series of Game of Thrones? No, actually, this is actually just season 1 of Game of Thrones, the complete first season. And I got asked about this a few times. So why was it in a box like this? So I'll show you. So you open it up like this. And this is what you get. So that's the complete first season of Game of Thrones right here. And this is, yes, it's a replica of the Dragon Egg. So we're going to try and get this out. So this is the Dragon Egg. So you too can be queen or just king of the dragons, right? This is the dragon egg. So when she gives them to the fire with the egg, and she comes out and 3 dragons are there. Dragon. If you've never seen Game of Thrones, that's a spoiler alert for the first season, but you should. Now this is not the DVD. This is actually the Blu-ray of Game of Thrones. And it's a very well packaged, very well put together, as you can tell. Season 2, episode 1 included, and also included in the top. You got it too, do you? So this was the digital copies of it and the DVD. But if you've never seen it, it's like Daenerys, definitely on the Google Doc list. And of course, there is probably the most popular character on the Daenerys and Kit Harington's character as well. They're kind of like the big ones for this now. I can just rewatch some of the early stuff because Game of Thrones is about to start, isn't it? It's like getting ready to come back. I'm not sure if we got HBO again. We had HBO for a while, and we didn't have it. What am I doing? So this is the hard box that comes in. I'm still missing all your conversations as I do this. I apologize. If anybody asks me a question and I don't see it, feel free to ask again because I do apologize. So this here is a little, just like mentioned by Ty Collector, who has a great channel by the way. Everybody should check out. Is Game of Thrones Season 2, Episode 1. So it was like a big deal to have Episode 1 on here. Get a taste of the second season. The North remembers. Very cool set, actually. I agree, Jace. Actually, it's one of the cooler sets I got. Especially for one season. Like, you expect this for, like, Walking Dead. Like, upstairs I got my Walking Dead seasons, and they got, like, the head, the zombie head, and the fish tank, and all that type, well, the zombie tank, and that type of stuff. So, really cool stuff there. But this is my, the Game of Thrones thing. I gotta put this back, so I gotta move this closer. This is a long cord, but it's definitely not long enough. I think that the length of this cord, by the way, is probably the reason that my voice is kind of a little bit lower on here now, because it's going further. But there you go. So before I go, so I'm not going too early. Is there anything as we were going through here that you wanted to know about? I've only got the first season so far. No, Sasha, I got to get the rest of them. I really do. They're coming out in 4K too, so that's really tempting to actually wait and get them there. The collector's edition I actually got for like a really good price because I bought a complete collection of like of movies after this guy when he was going away to Japan, and I bought his entire film collection. Yeah, and like that was one of the ones that was there. So there we go. Now I seem quiet. Now I don't have a topic. This is beyond where the length of time I thought this video was going to go. The secret room videos don't normally go as long when I'm doing them because basically, oh yeah, Degrassi Junior High was in Ontario. I actually grew up around the area that for about a year or so where Degrassi was done. Oh, so you bought the new ones that came out just recently, like the ones that are basically at Walmart right now when it comes to the Game of Thrones ones, right? But yeah, Degrassi was done in Ontario. I'm a huge fan. So originally it was Kids of Degrassi Street, and I love the show. And this is the early stuff. So the characters that would go on to be in Degrassi Junior High and eventually Degrassi High, they played actually different roles in this show here. So She is called Caitlin in the newer Degrassi shows, in the Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High, but I think her name is like Stephanie or something like that in the original series. Now, if you got kids, especially, I definitely recommend these, especially this one, Degrassi Junior High. So Degrassi was like a series, like a teen series, but a lot of like educators watched it too, and like moms and dads and stuff like that. Because one of the neat things is that they did a series called Degrassi Talks. So every so often, well, pretty much every episode, but in a lot of episodes, Degrassi would talk, would deal with certain issues, whether it be like alcohol or drugs or abuse or something along that lines. And, and what they did was they made 6 like episodes called Degrassi Talks, where the actors from the show got out and they actually talked about yeah, exactly like after school specials. Yeah, it was they actually would talk about some of the issues that were going on. Now this set here has the complete Degrassi Talks on it as well. Actually, lost 3 viewers when I was saying that. They literally dropped out. This is too serious for me, damn it. But yeah, there's like this creepy teacher in this movie, like Mr. Colby. He was like so they did ones on like this is the Degrassi Toxins. They did one on drugs, on sexuality, on sex, so 2 different things altogether, on abuse, on alcohol, and on depression. So they did some like really neat ones there, and every Degrassi between takes 30-minute documentary that takes you inside Degrassi Junior High and brings you face to face with the cast and crew. See Joey, Caitlin, Spike, and the rest of your Degrassi favorites every day with downloadable Degrassi Junior High wallpaper so you can decorate your wall top, your desktop. Really big fan of the show. Really, really huge fan of Degrassi. And of course, the final series in the Degrassi trilogy before it came back. My favorite TV show, that's really hard. Degrassi Next Generation was amazing. That was like a chance for like going on and actually they did amazing with it. I don't know what my favorite TV show is. I love Police Story, Christopher. I don't have the sets yet. I like Police Story. I like Police Woman as well. I got one season of Police Woman, which was a spinoff of Police Story. I kind of wish, I don't know if they ever put it out, but there's David Cassidy, he's one of the Cassidy. If you remember him, he actually did like David Cassidy Man Undercover, which was like a spinoff of Police Story. Oh no, Police Story, Sasha, is way before. Like this, I think you're thinking of like Crime Story. That's a Michael Mann series, but Police Story was a series done back in the 70s. It was kind of an anthology series, and it could get pretty gritty and pretty brutal at times. Definitely worth checking into. It was definitely one of the more grittier style shows that came out in that era. I'll assume that's you did mean Police Story, right? Oh, actually, Scholar, last night I was going through on Amazon, like oh yeah, Crime Story with Dennis Farina. Fantastic show, great show. Yesterday I was going through like Amazon, like doing up a list. I'm consistently doing up lists on Amazon of like stuff that I want, stuff that I need to get, and I was going through like different ones. Like one of the shows that I want, well, there's In Search Of, which is a Leonard Nimoy series. I actually have the first season of that, but I love to have the complete collection, like the really big collection. It's only around $38, right? In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy. That's one that I want. Actually, Cagney and Lacey, because they're really. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that PlayStation. Did I get the Fright Night Blu-ray from Sony? I didn't see a question. I apologize. But no, I did, because I do have 2 other versions of Fright Night already. I've got the Twilight Time edition that came out, the second edition, the second one they did, and I have the Eureka edition of Fright Night as well. Eventually, if I run into it in the wild, I would definitely pick it up. But I haven't picked it up. Yet, because it's triple dipping. And although I love that movie, it's one of my favorites. My biggest all-time crush was right here. Stacey Mitson, I hope I pronounced her name right. She played Caitlin. And I guess Spike was a pretty big crush too. But she was on the show. At least I don't think she was in real life, but on the show she played an epileptic, and she was really pretty. She still's really pretty. She's one of those girls that like looks even better today than she did like back then, and I found her really pretty back then. Yeah, even the Next Generation, she was hot. She's the one that actually gets together with Kevin Smith, which I'm sure was put there because Kevin Smith, much like me, had a super big crush on Caitlin. All of us did. I'm a huge Degrassi fan. I actually watched the Degrassi: The Next Generation, and I even watched Space 1999 right up here, and a favorite of mine actually. Glad somebody actually mentioned it. So Space 1999 was like one of those shows. Was produced I think in England, kind of England Canadian co-production. The first season of Space 1999 is really dark. It's like you can tell it's got like British like it's creepy. There's like some really creepy episodes. There's an episode where there's this kind of like big like creature like who has this gigantic red eye right in the middle, and when people like would go under, they would come out like turned into stone. Freaked me out. Scared me as a kid. Scared the crap out of me. Another episode is basically on this was on this planet, and this guy was always cold type of thing, and he was trying to keep them on the planet. He didn't want to go. He didn't want them to go. So at the end of it, I love Buck Rogers. I actually ran into Buck Rogers. At the end of the episode, they take off, and he gets melted by the blast from their ship. It's actually pretty cool, pretty freaky, man. Now the second season of Space 1999 was a big departure. They got like Star Trek like writers from the original Star Trek series, and it became a different show, and it wasn't as good. It's still a good series, but the first season and second season there's a dip in the quality in the writing on the episodes, and some of the actors left as well. Catherine Shell came in. Now, is Catherine Shell the one that plays the one that can change? You know, the one that can change form? Because I know in the second season there's a girl in it that comes in and she can actually change her form. And I think that might have been Catherine Shell, because she wasn't in the first season. Yeah, shape changer, perfect. So I did like her in the second season, but I thought that a lot of the episodes, and some of the episodes, they weren't as dark. They were definitely going in a lighter tone in the second season. It's amazing to think this is done by the guys that did Thunderbirds, right? But it is, and I do have Thunderbirds in there as well, by the way, guys. This was a 30th anniversary edition. I actually paid $5 for this complete series of Space 1999, and it's kind of a little bit of a morbid tale. I was at a convention, a Comic-Con, and I saw this in a box on the floor. There's like a bunch of shows. I picked up a couple things, and everything was $5. No matter what it was, no matter what the show was, no matter what the DVD, Blu-ray was $5. And apparently, the person that had owned it was a big collector, and she actually was a. I didn't know that, and he actually had passed away, and he wanted to make sure that the stuff got sold at the con, because he wanted to make sure that other people that liked that stuff got it, and it just wasn't given to just anybody who would just come in and like do a resale type thing. So he wanted to make sure that it was sold at the convention. Homicide: Life on the Streets I really love. I don't have that. I actually, Christopher, a while back I was going to pick it up, and I had it in my hands, and I said I'll come back for it. And by the time I came back, you know what always happens when you always say that a flame record, right? I'm going to come back for this. It's gone. You know it's gone. I have the first season of Streets of San Francisco, which I really like. I don't have the final film. I don't know if I've seen the final film. When I think of shows like Homicide, I think of shows like Murder One. The first season, Murder One, I think was money. It was a fantastic show. I do think that the second season of Murder One wasn't as good, especially the fact that they got rid of the main cast and that. Yeah, I did hear about that. It's kind of comical because for a long time it was like Steven Spielberg was like, I hate Netflix. I hate streaming. Streaming isn't real, you know. If when you do a movie on streaming, then it's a TV movie. Hey, Dave, welcome, dude. I said, yeah, the windstorm was crazy. I got it at the time matrix. Um, but all of a sudden, Apple announces their Apple TV Plus, right? And just a couple days before they announced it, one of Steven Spielberg's guys came out and said, "Hey, Steven Spielberg never said he didn't like Netflix. He didn't say he didn't like streaming. He was misquoted." And people were thinking, "But Steven Spielberg, like, didn't he?" But he really said there's. And then 2 days later, the Apple conference happened. And amazingly, there was Steven Spielberg announcing the reboot of Amazing Stories. You don't do streaming at all. I do some streaming services. I'm not going to lie, I'd be a hypocrite if I told you that I didn't. I do have some streaming stuff, and the reason that I have it is honestly because streaming makes me buy more. Anytime I see like a movie on TC, like say on the Criterion Channel, do I like the new Twilight Zone? I have not seen it yet. I have seen like the previews of it. I know the first couple episodes are out. I expect to like it. I actually do like. I actually do like Jordan Peele. I have not seen Us yet, so please don't spoil that for me. Do I have a favorite Western TV show? Have Gun Will Travel is a fantastic show. I actually got that here somewhere. I am a big fan of Rawhide. Downloading, you mean like legally downloading? I don't download. No, not gonna lie. Like back in the day, through nefarious means, when there were things that weren't available, things weren't as easy to come by. You know, it was hard to find stuff. Then you had to download stuff. Nowadays, it makes it harder to download because let's be honest, everything's out there, and you kind of want the features and all that type of stuff, right? Then what's coming out is the film. But I was a really big fan of Rawhide. Have Gun Will Travel, another one I really love. But I recently watched this show, and I went through like the first 4 discs in a row. So I put you to sleep, PlayStation. Have a good evening. Thanks for coming in, man, and thanks for staying for so long too, by the way. This dude, this got him in there. You're right. This definitely got him in there. So this is season 1 of Rawhide. I go from season 1 to having the 4th season, volume 1. Deadwood is really good. It's actually a really good show. I definitely recommend it. With Bonanza, I don't have much of Bonanza. I've only got, as you can see, I hate the fact that they do these in parts. So I got the 1st season, volume 1 for Bonanza, and I've got the 2nd season, volume 2. Of course. I have not been able to find the other ones yet. Now, much like this, Gunsmoke, 5th season, volume 2, 3rd season, volume 2, 2nd season, volume 1. Gunsmoke, I really love Gunsmoke growing up. I used to watch this show all the time. If you've never seen Gunsmoke and Marshall Dillon, it's really cool. I thought I had more Gunsmoke, actually. Now, this was a neat one that I came across, and my dad knew this more than I did. This is The Deputy, and this stars Henry Fonda. It's a TV series, a Western TV series that stars Henry Fonda. So I was kind of stoked to find this one. There was a table at a flea market, and they were selling all westerns. They had like a wall-to-wall. Jason would have loved it. They had like westerns right across, and I got there later on the day. Like there were so many that I didn't get, but I found this one, and this one was like hidden in the back. Somebody had hidden to come back for it. And this is The Deputy with Alan Case and Henry Fonda. Some of the best actors of their day, including Lee Van Cleef, Lee Van Cleef, Alan Hale Jr., of course, James Coburn, Robert Redford's very first appearance on television is right here. So before like Robert Redford was in Twilight Zone. He was in The Deputy. Uh, of course, not a western, but I actually am a big fan of Rat Patrol. I really did like this show. It's kind of an action show, uh, really fun. And of course, if you watch, Young and the Restless, then the guy that plays like Victor Newman, you'll see him here sans the mustache, but he's very young here. He plays like the German character on the show. Well, he was actually in that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else Western wise. I got grab the first season of the Gene Autry show because kind of just fun, cheesy stuff. Walter Brennan. And for like more modern westerns, I did get the complete series of Magnificent Seven, and I did think this was a pretty good show, like of a more of a modern western, decent cast. Audie Murphy. I think you might have. I'd have to look into it. My dad's a huge Audie Murphy fan. So is my grandfather. He's passed on now. I was raised by my grandparents. I do have Gun Will Travel. I just got to put it around here somewhere. And of course, The Young Riders, which I complete first season of that one. I do have to get the rest of that. But hold on a sec. See if I can do this without. Briscoe County Jr. I love them. I have the complete series for the Wild Wild West. That one I do have upstairs, actually. I'm a huge Wild Wild West fan. Used to come on Saturday mornings when I was a kid. Now, I think it was Jason and a few other people asked me about this. So here are the first two seasons of Wanted Dead or Alive, Steve McQueen. Love this one here. So if you've never seen Wanted Dead or Alive, definitely check it out. It's a fantastic series. Also check out the Wanted Dead or Alive, like the movie that came out later with Rutger Hauer. Really, really good. And this is the season 2 of Wanted Dead or Alive. Have you not seen Wanted Dead or Alive? Like seriously, Jace? Definitely check this out. It's a really good western with Steve. Great cast. It's basically he's going from town to town, and he's like super. He's Steve McQueen, so he's gonna be super cool. And his character Josh Randall, he's a bounty hunter. So he's going around hence the title Wanted Dead or Alive. So he's a bounty hunter. He's going from town to town, like collecting bounties and getting the bad guys. A lot of big stars in this, like you mentioned here: Lon Chaney Jr., Lee Van Cleef, DeForest Kelly, Warren Oates. 100% man, Jace, 100%. Warren Oates does an episode of this. I'm a huge Warren Oates fan. Martin Landau, Diane Cannon, and Steve McQueen's Magnificent Seven co-star Brad Dexter actually is an episode of this as well. So this has been put out a couple times. This was the original, I think this is a Mill Creek edition, but this was put out like a few times. So it should actually. Whispering Smith, thanks, Scholar. That's the show. My dad has that, I think. Whispering Smith. I gotta get that one. But yep, if you like Steve McQueen and you like westerns with guys that legitimately have a serious, quiet, cool, you gotta check it. Steve McQueen, Wanted Dead or Alive. When I'm going through here, both times that I've done this, every time I get asked about Wanted Dead or Alive. So either a lot of people haven't seen it, or they have seen it and they got and they got like fond memories of it because they're like, is that Wanted Dead or Alive, or like what's that show with Steve McQueen? And yeah, it's Wanted Dead or Alive. So those are the two that I strongly. That's one that I strongly recommend. Wanted Dead or Alive did last 3 seasons, Jay. So just in case you're going looking for it, I'm pretty sure 3 seasons, right? Junior Bond. Oh, Kino did a really good job. That's one of their a lot of features on that release actually. We got into Western territory, JC, before we got our stream up there. Hey, Mark. Really good. Apparently, I am. I'm getting you into Wanted Dead or Alive. 32 episodes in the first season, 36 episodes in the second season. I'm going to actually look on my phone to see how many episodes were in the third season to find out for you. But I'm sure there's a third season. See, make her a liar, But I used to love Wanted Dead or Alive. Much like if you like the Rifleman shows like that, you know, you could definitely like Wanted Dead or Alive. 1958 to 1961. 3 seasons, 94 episodes altogether. I think now they're half-hour long episodes. Much Talk Collector, much like the early episodes of shows like Gunsmoke, were half an hour long. So like a lot of the shows then were like, and it was like kind of the sweet spot for westerns at the time. When westerns like went to the hour long, like you know, 50-minute format, it was much like when soap operas did the same thing. It was kind of like one of those like, should we really do this? Is it kind of pushing it type of thing? And because it was a good spot, like the 25-minute like western was considered the key point, right? Yeah, exactly, like the old Lone Ranger. Now, Wanted Dead or Alive is, I love Lone Ranger, but Wanted Dead or Alive is a much more, is more serious show than say Lone Rangers, because you know Lone Ranger is, you know, I love the Lone Ranger, but a lot of it, hey Doug, is meant for like you know, meant for a more youthful audience. Like you know, there's more some brutal ones, but it is, you know, get the kids in type of thing. Wanted Dead or Alive, Josh Rando is a bounty hunter, and he's going from town to town. They can have a bleak like atmosphere at times, but it's always fun. It's always a fun western. Yeah. So there we go, and I shall read off the back for you. So not your typical rough and tumble bounty hunter of the Old West. Josh Randall was a consummate gentleman, who always gave half, or even all of his reward money, to charity. A man of few words. Randolph led his mare's leg, an 1892 Winchester sawed-off shotgun, did most of his talking as he took on criminals, protected people in need, and battled rival bounty hunters in each exciting, pulse-pounding episode. Huh? Huh? Tell me that doesn't sound exciting. So he wore this like sawed-off shotgun on his on his belt. I love Magnificent Seven, Sash. Have I sold you on it, Chase? You will not be disappointed. It actually is really, really cool. I love the Magnificent Seven. It's one of my favorites. It's one of those that I watched consistently, and I've watched it over the years so many times. Oh, thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming in and into the movie club. Have a great evening, and hopefully, I really hope that you come back again, and I'll see you soon. Hopefully, I didn't bore you too much time. This is more of a kind of a fast and loose show, and for people that came in for the first time, then I do appreciate you coming in. I really, really do, and I hope you come back. I do have some more laser pointed focus things sometimes, and I have more of like a method to my madness. But I wanted to do like a nice, easygoing Friday night show. Obviously, I won't be making one on Sunday because WrestleMania. Everybody's got their own opinion when it comes to stuff. If we all like the same stuff, it'd be really boring. I'd watch the same thing. Be all like, it would be dystopian. It'd be Big Brother, and it would be the TV series. I'm trying to see if I have any, because you got me like in a Western feel. Like this, I'm trying to see if there's any more Westerns here. Yeah, and I wanted to like put the camera back, so it's not so much in my face. You do not need to see my face that much. Even I don't need to see my face so much. You guys are talking about the Magnificent Seven? I will say the Western first, because I do have more. And not just that, like Western films, that too. It's a film that does not need to. Well, it does actually. Think about it. Well, think of it this way, Sasha. Yes, The Magnificent Seven is a fantastic film, and it does an amazing. Akira Kurosawa does an incredible job. I don't think anybody. Hey, Aaron, welcome. Hill Street Blues. Actually, I was a big fan of Hill Street Blues back in the day. I actually have the Document TV Western. Uh, I only had the first two seasons so far. But I was a big fan. I actually was a big fan of Hill Street Blues, and I liked St. Elsewhere. I was a big fan of St. Elsewhere. A lot of times when one gets talked about, the other gets talked about because they do have that similar dramatic styling to them. Um, of course, Hill Street Blues did not end with a snow globe, so there's that difference. I think the thing is that Sasha, this may be maybe Magnificent Seven is one of your favorite movies, and that's why you kind of feel all that, and it's a perfectly legit feeling. Everybody's got their own taste when it comes to film. I wouldn't say that it's like not something that that shouldn't be though. I'd say maybe it's something that that doesn't work for you because you have such a love with the original source material. LA Law. Did LA Law ever come out on DVD? I don't have it if it did. I don't think I got it. Nope, I don't. But I used to watch LA Law. I was a big Susan Day fan. I get crushed on Susan Day. I don't think she did much after LA Law though. I remember her on LA Law. I remember her episode of like Saturday Night Live when she did that. But those are the things I remember. Like and there's a lot of shows that are in there. Like Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. Like the original Kung Fu, as you can see, I've got it. You can't see it right now. We saw it before. I have it up there. Complete series, all 3 seasons. Are they really? I actually I didn't know that, Wolf, because I've never come across it. So kind of bummed about. Oh, I'm not bummed about it. I'm actually happy, but I'm hoping VI puts it out. Okay, one thing to tell you guys, I'm pretty sure Amazon.com has it too. So there's a company called VI. They do a lot of TV shows. They put out a lot of TV shows, complete series, all that type of stuff, right? Now, one thing to know is that they have their own store on Amazon. Like the actual VI, they have their own store on Amazon. And one of the reasons that I heard that they did that was people were getting the VI like complete series sets and stuff like that, and going online and selling for like really big prices. It depends. If the complete series has everything, like all the features and that, then I want the complete series, like bar none. But if the sets have features that the other thing doesn't have, or booklets, for instance, then I probably want to get the sets. Like I have the complete Three's Company, for instance, right? But I kind of would like, if I could find them for cheap enough, I wouldn't spend very much money on them, but if I found them for really cheap, I would like to get the Anchor Bay sets because he had like writing from, like a guy wrote a book about Three's Company. There's a book out there, and they're on in every one of the sets there was like writing on that's about that season that would be included with that set. So for that reason, I would like to own the Three's Company, the seasons, as well as the complete series. Normally, complete series all the way, but if there's more features or more write-ups in the seasons, then the seasons. So VI is a company that puts out complete series. They have their own. They have their own store, and because they have their own store, they sell things for a lot cheaper. For instance, like in Search of, I think I mentioned that on here with Leonard Nimoy. Now, in Search of the series, I used to really like when I was a kid. Some people like, well, I grew up also with Unsolved Mysteries, but before Unsolved Mysteries, the really kind of the creepy voice show was In Search of. In Search of started originally with Rod Serling voicing it, but Rod Serling passed away, I think, like 2 or 3 episodes into the show. So they had to get somebody else to voice it. The person they got was Leonard Nimoy, down from Cincinnati. That sounds familiar. And he did it. Now in the '90s, Mitch Pileggi from X-Files, in the '90s or 2000s, they brought it back, and for a short period of time, and Mitch Pileggi was the voice of the series. You can get the complete series, including the Rod Serling voice episodes, the Leonard Nimoy complete series, and the Mitch Pileggi episodes all together from VI on the VI store. I recommend checking it out. If I can get you one thing from here, check out Wanted Dead or Alive. Make sure you get that. Number 2, go to Amazon, check out VI store. I've been doing that recently. Boomtown. Boomtown is a great show, and that's one of my favorite character actors in it too. Whose name I'm forgetting right now, but he was in a couple seasons. He was in a season of Legends of Tomorrow, and he was in a season of Arrow too. He played a bad guy in both those shows, but he was one of the main guys in Boomtown. I can't remember his name for the life of me. Well, you probably can. Oh, let me know, Jason, if you actually found the show. But this is one of, just to let you guys know, this is a VI one, and they actually do a pretty good job of putting them together. And the reason I showed you this is because I too, I've got to go, and I am going to watch Hotel. I'm just kind of in the mood for it. One of those anthology shows, basically, where it's it's a series, but something different is happening in every episode with different casts and stuff like that. And originally, for the first season at least, I think that Betty Davis. Anyway, guys, thank you for seeing me tonight in the secret room. Have a good evening, Jason. I hope you get to find some Wanted Dead or Alive. So with that being said, it's time for me to hit the portal gun and go outside of the secret room and go back into the alternate reality. Thanks, Wolf, Sasha, Jace, all you guys out there, Toy Collector. Have a fantastic weekend there. Enjoy your WrestleMania weekend if that's what you're into. And if not, have fun an alternate way. And I will see you next time in the secret room. See you, Scholar.